So I know we all been hype about this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef that's going on right now, including me. I think we've been bored with rap and hip hop for a long time, and if you are millennial like me, this is just how we get down, and this is how we're going to crown who's king and who's queen. If you're new here, my name is Torian. I'm the founder of a third space called Sisters with ADHD. I have a podcast, and I love to lead conversations about how neurodivergence shows up in our real lives as well as pop culture. But I thought it'd be a good time to talk about ADHD and motivation. And if you're a true Kendrick fan, then you know that Kendrick came out with ADHD in 2012. And after listening to the lyrics again, I'm just going to assume that he either has ADHD or was diagnosed at some point in his life. And whether he's willing to accept the diagnosis or not, the neurotype is a neurotype. When it comes to ADHD and motivation, I think a lot of times, well, one of the critiques I'm hearing about Kendrick just during this beef and now that he's kind of back on the scene, is that he only come out with projects every 3, 4, 5 years and da-da-da. We know that the last project we got from Kendrick was in 2022, which is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And that was a whopping 7 years after To Pimp a Butterfly. So it was a really huge stint. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of self-awareness being done, a lot of work. I think he was in therapy, which he revealed in Mr. Morale. Anywho, it took him a long time, and I feel like Kendrick's projects do come out in 3, 4 years. And a lot of times when it comes to motivation, it's just tricky for people with ADHD. Like, they have greatness, they're able to produce great projects, but a lot of times it's going to take something as simple as spite. Here's what I mean. Okay, so for our neurotypical counterparts, motivation is something simple as what is important or the risk of consequences. That's that simple. And ADHD people, we just don't respond that way. That's just not what motivates us. We're typically going to be motivated by 5 factors. And that's going to be interest, novelty, challenges or competitions, urgency, and just straight up passion. And when you have that recipe at play and people with ADHD have those as motivators, you might run into something that we like to call hyperfocus. And when you're in hyperfocus and when you got that cocktail of motivation going for you, you finna be locked in and pushing out project after project, quality work, beautiful. Everybody's gonna be like, how'd they do it? How'd they do it? It's the hyperfocus, baby. And Drake, and then you can do it. This is why you see Kendrick putting out 2 projects to Drake's every one. He is locked in. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be alive and witnessing. Let me put all that together for you. I think Kendrick has been on to Drake and just noticing things about Drake for a long time and making these connections that other people probably weren't able to see because we're blinded by wanting to dance and party. And don't get me wrong, Drake put out some good projects too. He got some good music. But I think in this moment, Kendrick was like, stop playing in his face. And because of that spite, because of this challenge and this competition, is bringing something alive in him that you just can't explain it. You can't explain it unless you have ADHD and you know what it is. That's why we're seeing 2 projects to Drake's every one. He probably got more in the chamber ready to go. And I just think it's super dope how we're seeing all this play out before our very eyes. But I think the challenge and competition is obviously at play. I can feel his passion in his music, and I think that's why I'm just going to be preferential over a Kendrick, because he's not just spitting and putting out rap music for the hell of it. He's teaching lessons and making historical and societal context. Like, it's beautiful. So hopefully this was able to bring some self-awareness for you if you have ADHD or suspect you have ADHD. Hey, when something's new and novel, like a rap beef, when you have the challenge or the competition at play, when you're passionate about something, when you're genuinely interested about something, you're going to produce great things, beautiful things when you can have those motivators in play. Anywho, they not like, hey.